All right, let's start off with Mary. Unmute yourself, please. We are coming to you.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Mary.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm well. So I'm gonna make it quick. I literally bought Amazon. You guys are gonna laugh at me. I'm giving away my age on Share Builder. Okay, back in '99.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, my roommate and I
my
were in
God.
our dorm rooms, and we're like, oh, goofballing, and we did it. So I'm good right now. I want to get into the whole Bitcoin, but I'm not as confident as far as what I've done with the stocks. And I'm sitting here and I said to myself, all right, I'm going to do it. Do I do 600? Do I do 1200? Because I feel that's nice and, cautious, safe amount. And I'm looking at the Binance as the way to go. And I'm just trying to figure out, am I perceiving that correctly, or should I just fall back?
I got to give you praise. What year did you buy Amazon?
99. That's why I'm laughing these days. Like, people have no idea.
Wow.
I'm good.
At all. What percentage are you up?
19,
And
something.
tell them how important long-term investing is, please.
You just got to chill. Like, seriously. It was a joke for us in college. Like, my roommate and I, Asian guy, moved off campus. We're like, let's try it out and see what's going to happen. We lose, $25? And we just racked up because it was like something like 19 and change, if I remember correctly.
19.
And we just racked up.
You don't need Bitcoin. You got Bitcoin gains from Amazon.
I do, but I don't want to, I don't want to sleep. I've got 2 kids and I want to make sure they're good,
Binance is a good option. I probably wouldn't touch it till it goes to 40,656 though. That's too high.
Okay.
I will wait, but we need to get you in. Can we, Janet, get her information? I need to send you an award, plaque, merchandise. Like, for those of you who don't know Share Builder, go Google.
I know it's so.
Yeah, you are a seasoned veteran. But what are you comfortable saying? What percentage you're up in Amazon all time?
I'm. Let's just.
You don't
say
have to.
I'm gonna put myself up there. I'm good. The kids are good. My kids' are good. We're good. And I just, I just want to be knowledgeable because I come from the family of I'm Nigerian, and it's put your money in the bank. So we weren't taught making money work for you. So I'm coming out there, making this money work for me. And when I showed my parents, like buying houses, I'm in Connecticut, buying houses 200,000-300,000 cash, no mortgages, and just, again, letting it work for itself. You
made my night. Thank you.
So,
you are literally the message I've been preaching forever. Debt free.
We don't know.
Holding.
We don't know, and it's unfortunate because as a Black people, we don't know what we don't know. So we are our own worst enemy in a sense.
Mary, you were saying 600, 1,200. As far as what is that? How much coins you want to buy? What we talking?
The money I want to put towards it. Like I'm definitely, I feel confident in my stocks, but again, with Bitcoins, I'm still trying to learn it. So 1,200 it's
the same.
I don't want to say chump change, but
$1,200, not 1,200 coins.
I'm like,
El Salvador.
I'm like, wait,
El Salvador bought 700 Bitcoins. Like, she's not gonna buy.
We never know.
600 Bitcoin.
She said she good. So like, we never know. We never know. Shout out to Mary.
Never know.
You never know, bro.
Yeah, 1,200 is a good investment. Hold it for 3 or 4 years. You'll be elated. Treat it the same way as any top 10 company on NASDAQ. It moves at the same rate of speed. The volatility is almost equivalent. You'll be good.
Because my money guy's talking me out of it, and he's like, "No, you're fine right now." I'm like, "Well, why not?" He's, no.
I mean, 1,200 won't hurt your lifestyle in any.
That's what I said, and I'm a very I'll split a penny 4 ways,
Yeah, you're good. I would do 1,200 good for sure. Yeah, okay. I'll wait for that 40,000 mark, and you'll be good. But I have to get you an award. Thank you for preaching this, and especially for a woman. Can you tell the women how important it is and how much better it's made your life by investing?
Ladies, sisters, I can't even. I'm gonna make you guys sad for a moment, but I think I really need to put it out there. My husband passed away 1 year ago, battling Lou Gehrig's disease.
Sorry.
And his passing, we're okay. And even before that, I was okay as a female. And I think we are so still stuck in this momentum of you need a partner, because money is about men. And it's really not that. You have to be able to stand on your own, and there's nothing wrong with standing on your own and knowing what money is, understanding how it works. What is it? What is the value of it? You don't have to wear it, but know it, understand it, make it work for you.
That's incredible.
I want to meet Mary.
Yeah, we have to.
There's something about Mary. We got to meet her.
Oh my gosh, don't even.
No, we got to meet her. We got to figure this out.
Yeah, we got to get her to Houston.
We've got to get her to Houston. We've got to figure this out.
Send my condolences.
Condolences. Yes, to you and the family.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the info, guys. I'm definitely going to lean that way.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Since 99, like, let's take a moment and let that breathe.
I was looking at the chart, like.
So everybody put in chat, long-term investing is the wave. There's no trader that has on paper and with real money that has outperformed that number of return. Long-term is the wave. Go ahead.
All right, let's go to another lady here. Denise, unmute yourself, please.
Oh, Denise.
Uh-oh.
No, it's been so long since it's been a fridge break.
YouTube, let's get back to 8,000 so we can get the scholarships.
Oh, there you go. Denise, what's going on? They was talking crazy about you, but I was just saying, this is be patient with her.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be on here to talk to you guys tonight. I have a quick question about, I just recently stopped working. So I have a 401k that's like 250,000. And I'm a little bit afraid of like what's going to happen with the market coming with the recession. So I know I need to switch it over to an IRA. I also have some stocks. So I'm just kind of in that mode of not really knowing what to allocate everything in. So just trying to get some advice from you guys.
Yeah, as far as the question of rolling over to the IRA, it's definitely always a good. I'll just start off with this. Is the reason why it's a good idea to roll over a 401k into an IRA is that when you leave your job, your 401k is kind of frozen in a sense. Not frozen where it's not growing; it's still growing, however it's invested, but it's frozen whereas you can't add money to it. You're kind of stuck. You're stuck with the investment options that are provided for you by the 401k. So 401k usually has like a menu of like, let's say 10 or 12 different investment options that you get to pick and choose from. Like, let's say Fidelity manages the fund, they'll give you like 15 different options to choose from. So you can't just invest in anything you want. You have to invest in what is given to you in the 401k. You really can't get investment advice on it. Like legally, if you call a 1-800 number, they can't actually like give you advice over the phone. Most of the time, people don't have a relationship with the advisor that did their 401k when they're no longer with the job. You can't borrow from it when you're no longer working. So there's not really a lot of advantages of keeping an old 401k at the 401k. So that's the reason why you roll into an IRA, because now when you roll into an IRA, you can invest in anything that you want. You can put money into the IRA over the course of time. It serves as a central hub. So if you have a couple old 401ks, it kind of gets hard to manage. So you can roll it all into one central IRA. So these are all the benefits of actually doing an IRA first and foremost. Second of all, I believe she said what to invest in, right? Was that a question? Part of it?
Yeah, what stocks are you in?
So with the retirement,
I'm sorry, say that again.
You said you were interested in what to invest in the 401k, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So with the retirement account, me personally, I like to be a little bit more conservative. I wouldn't necessarily take a lot of risk with my retirement account. So we talk about, a lot of great ETFs. Ian always talks about VOO, VTI, QQQ is one of my personal favorite ones. You have the XLKs of the world, SPY, which is the S&P 500. So, I would go more on the index ETF route. I feel like that'll be a something that you can sleep well at night, knowing that you're investing in, 20 of the top companies in the world, and, not necessarily putting it in one company. And with the IRA, also, it's important to keep in mind that it's also a long-term play, even when you're in retirement. Retirement is just the beginning part of it. So it's like most people, it's crazy because you talk about Mount Everest, and most people die on Mount Everest coming down the mountain, not coming up the mountain. Reason being is that everybody has a plan getting up the mountain, but nobody ever really considers how they're going to get down the mountain.
So retirement is the same way. I look at like the day you retire is like the top of the mountain, but that's only half the battle. Now you actually have to get down. So, you know, you could live another 20, 30 years in retirement. So the money still has to actually work for you. You just can't have it in a conservative bond account when you retire, because, you know, when you're taking money out, if it's not growing and you're taking too much money out, what's going to happen over the course of time is that you're going to actually run out of money. So that's why you still want to be invested in the stock market at all times at some level of exposure. Now you might, you know, peel it back as you get, you know, older, but all of those different funds that we just talked about, BOO, QQQ, SPY, they all give you exposure to the stocks. And, you know, it'll still have time to grow over the course of time. Even if it's at an all-time high right now, 10 years from now, it's going to be higher. Odds Absolutely. Are the stock market is going to be higher than it is now.
Unless they stop quantitative easing, which is very low. Well, what individual stocks are you in currently?
What stocks are you in currently? I don't.
Oh,
she doesn't know.
I have like 29 different stocks. I don't know if you guys can still hear me.
Can you name 4?
Yeah.
Can you name 4?
Yeah, Roku was one of them. TD. OC, Fifth Third Bank, FT. Am I breaking up?
No, we hear you. No. So you said you were in Teladoc?
Yeah, Teladoc, which I know I should have exited, but I just was afraid because at one point I really had like a good thing going. And then a lot of my stocks have just kind of fallen off here lately. I think I have 29 different positions. So I've been trying to kind of figure out how to balance it without losing as much or losing.
Would it be a great help if you got the first scholarship tonight for Red Panda Stock Club?
I'm actually in Stock Club. I'm new.
Oh, we got to get that portfolio cleaned up tonight then.
Okay.
For sure. So send me your list at ian@joinredpanda.com. Send me all 29. I'll tell you which ones to get rid of. We got to get rid of Fifth Third, Teladoc. And what was the other one you mentioned? Roku. Yeah, we gotta get rid of all those.
Okay. Yeah. I'll send you an email tonight. Thank you, Ian. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you. Can we somebody's been spamming YouTube with the same question every minute. What are your thoughts on waste management?
And then let's block since you want to spam. I'm gonna answer your question, but I want you guys to be kind. Listen, stop doing this. I know they're nice. I'm not. Stop playing with me. Waste Management is a great company. I appreciate you being here. Can we block them? Shout out to Michael Batnick, who put out the first crypto index, but you wanted to tell him he didn't know. Okay. We're going to see who knows what when this crash happens. Net worth check next year. Oh, everybody was talking options. Come to the table. We're going to have a big paperwork party next year.
Listen.
And Rashad, 22 bottles. I got you.
Listen. When you see him pick up this microphone,
it is not playing.
Stop playing with him. Man. Stop playing with him.
Next question.
No, I'm not high or drunk. I am high off Jesus and ally. I love y'all.
High off ally. Oh, let's get one more question, Janet, if we can, please.
All right, Jeremy, unmute yourself, please.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Jeremy, my brother. Listen.
Y'all.
I was there yesterday with you, man. I heard you speaking in the club yesterday, man. Powerful. We coming to Oakland, by the way. Just letting you know.
I'm on the East, man. I've been on the East Coast for.
Oh, that's right. That's how you came this way. But dope yesterday, man. Listening to your testimonial, man. It was powerful. Thank you for sharing.
I appreciate that. And another one. I'm just gonna give flowers like I always do, man. Every one of our revolutionaries, every one of our civil rights leaders have been speaking about wealth, and it's tied in with my question. And they've been speaking about wealth, and they literally looking down on each one of your spirits and thank God y'all came into most of our lives, man. That's the truth. But my question really is circling around like, all right, what are the next steps after wealth is created? And you guys alluded to a little bit of it tonight, like talking to group economics, group politics, like what is the next step after wealth's created? How do we start to focus as a culture on group economics and community building? And then do you have a vision that helps us build unity that takes us away from the individualism and the separation that is killing our community.
I feel like somebody just asked me this question, and in Miami, that's crazy. That's a great question, and I feel like there's different steps to the process. And the first step is taking care of yourself and taking care of your family, and creating strong individuals. And then when you have enough strong individuals, now you can create a strong community. Group economics definitely has to be part of the conversation, not just on like just fluff conversation. Group economics, like what does that really mean, right? Like actually having real group economics where it's like we can actually have funds, and we can actually have banks, and we can actually have institutions and things
publicly traded companies.
Yeah, publicly traded companies, things of that nature. So group economics definitely has to be part of the situation. Politics definitely has to be part of the situation. Understanding politics, becoming more politically mature, not just voting out of emotions. I feel like a lot of times, like we do stuff out of emotions. We're very emotional a lot of times, and it's like politicians use that against us. So you can't be emotional in politics because there is no emotions in politics. So that's something that we really have to come to the table. And then the next step after that is a global conversation, and really having global conversations and building, global summits and really connecting the dots. That's why, you see us go to Jamaica, you see us go to Egypt, you see us go to Nigeria, you see us talking to Shine, who's, probably going to be the prime minister of Belize one day. We're not just doing this just for no reason. Like we personally want to establish relationships, learn, educate ourselves, because we understand that, the world is big. It's much bigger than just the United States of America. So as a community, we have to understand that, get past trivial differences that we have, because ultimately we're stronger together. And if you look at like the G8 summit or the G20 summit, every country doesn't get along. Russia and America don't have to get along to sit down and have a conversation, and they still work on stuff, because ultimately, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I think, that's a kind of a long answer, because it's not just a short solution, but I feel like that's just a couple of things that come after building personal wealth.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.